this. Rather, yeah, here we go again. T.B.Photo X1.5 TFX, and welcome back to another video. Well, I'm just sitting here reading a Natural Geographic book about human anatomy, but that's not really what this video is going to be about. Well, this is going to be a little bit of a double feature, in all honesty. Excuse me. Well, the vacation time is over, back to work and so on, and yeah, it's life. But anyway, I'm gonna talk a little bit now about a couple of small excursions, and yeah, Nikon D700, a camera that doesn't really need that much more of an introduction. I brought that along on a few little day trips at the end of the vacation, so I think I will start to show you two of the lenses that played the majority part in these two excursions. Well, first of all, we have this one, which is a older Nikon classic, or Nikkor classic. It is the 35 to 70mm f2.8D lens. Yeah, I know it's a push-pull, but it's a constant aperture f2.8, and you can see this beautiful big front element on it. It takes a screw type autofocus system, so you need a camera body that has a built-in autofocus motor. What else can I talk about with this one? Well, it has a little bit of a close-up setting as well. Put it to 35, and then you push this little silver button and you basically twist it, and you have this orange part here which says M, so MF35, so yeah, focal length 35. But anyway, this was used quite a bit as the first little excursion, which I have a little bit of B-roll from the little Panasonic lipstick cam, and some photos from it. Well, people, you might have seen the BBC series The Great British Bake Off. Well, there is actually a Swedish equivalent of it. No, I haven't been enrolled to that. No, heavens no. But anyway, the Swedish equivalent of the Great Bake Off is actually filmed at Taxinge Slott, or Taxinge Castle. And that's actually where the first little excursion went to. It is this castle slash mansion that has been converted into a cafe, so to speak, and they are famous as being Kakslott, that is basically the Swedish nickname for it, the baked goods castle, if I'm gonna do some type of English equivalent. But anyway, I think I'm showing some B-roll here and some of the images. Because of the global situation, so to speak, they have a little bit of, enforced rules that you have to keep distance, social distancing between the groups and so on, and all of that good stuff to keep us safe and healthy. But anyway, it was a nice little excursion, and well, my baked goods of choice in this one, and this might be a little bit controversial for some people. Sachertort, or yes, Sacher. Well, here we have an expert who can pronounce it.
Oh, Sachertort.
Not Sascha, Sacher.
Sacher!
Ja, es ist eine Sachertorte.
Sachertorte!
Ist direkt von Wien.
Oh,
Show them the
Twinkies.
audience. Look at this. This is eine Sachertorte. Ja. You know what is missing, guys? Whipped cream. Mit Sachertorte ist immer Schlag. Wow, there's a whole different ballgame. I mean, Vienna, Austria is without any doubt the winner of this one.
Yeah, as you can see. But anyway, yeah, really good. For people who don't know why it was a little bit controversial, it's actually that this is just a little bit for the anoraks out there. Sachertort can only be authentically purchased from the Konditorei Sacher in Vienna, Austria. No other place can really have the original So that's a little bit of the caveat there, but it tasted good anyway. And a little bit around there, and you know, great little castle garden, mansion garden, and the 35 to 70 was actually a brilliant little choice for this, because you could really go a bit wide angle and really go into the nooks and crannies of it. Also, what I actually did with the D700 on this excursion was that I used bracketing, which allowed me to do HDR in Lightroom 6. Plug to an old Sensei or whatever, Trey Ratcliffe, the Mr. HDR. So yeah, if you're ever gonna visit Sweden and if you're visiting Stockholm, this is actually not that far away from it. So a day trip to Taxinge is actually kind of recommended because of all the things around it as well. Yeah, I think you would really enjoy it if you're one of those that likes baked goods. Also, I was actually planning to take their red velvet cake, but unfortunately it was they were out of it, so I took the Sacher instead. Second one was a little bit other excursion, or just a walk around, since I went home to Gävle, my hometown, and went around a little trail that I have talked about many times before, but this time I was a little bit more specific in what I wanted to do. So yeah, this combo you have seen before. It is the SC29 and the SB900. Great flash and flash cable combo. Reason I want it is because you have the autofocus assist lights on this part. The on-off switch for the autofocus assist lights are here. You have the autofocus assist lights on the flash gun. And yeah, this one can actually zoom into 200 millimeters. So if you want a real spot-lit subject, really good flash for this one. And as I have stated in numerous videos before, I have never had any overheating issues with this flash in question. But there was another lens that I actually took that was the majority when I did this. Let's put this back a little bit, so. And here is a little bit of a controversial lens, because I know that this brand is a little bit polarizing in my experience, because either when I do a review or overview or a little bit of my experience about this brand, it's the ones that I get the most thumbs down on, frankly, and I don't really know why. But I have a gripe with this one. It is the Sigma APO 180mm macro with a maximum aperture of f3.5. And it's a little bit of the older one. It's a HSMIF EX Sigma, it says over there. And well, this one has one of those switches for, first of all, it's internal autofocus. More about that in a minute. And you have this little switch, switch here that is either full coverage of the autofocus range, 61 centimeters to infinity, or the close setting that is 46 centimeters to 61 centimeters. So the closest that this one can focus is 46 centimeters. So if you're into what I actually did, bug photography with macro, this is actually a fairly good focal length because you can get 1:1 macro, but you can still keep your distance and still get a very good, not zooming, but the field of view is very good for bug photography at a little bit of a distance. So anyway, great lens hood, and I'm actually going to show you now a little bit of how I did it. There's a million ways of doing macro photography, and I'm just going to show you how I ended up doing it with this combo. Let's see here now, and we're going to just put this on. As I've talked to you before, I have read the book about Joe McNally and how he uses the creative lighting system. One way of doing it is that you either hold it like this. Yeah, I know I have the lens cap on, this is purely demonstrational. So you have it like this, and you can either have it like so. So you can always control from where you want the flash to be, if you're underneath, side, up top, and so on. And sometimes, since this is a bit of a heavy lens, I have it here on 75 degrees of angle. These fingers under the lens hood like so, holding it like so from the side. This is actually a very good way of holding it in my experience. I held it like this for a lot of my shots with this combo, and they turned out great. Another way that I also seen Joe McNally use it is I'm using my forearm under the tripod collar, and I can hold it like so and take images like so. This actually worked fairly good as well in my experience. You might look a bit stupid when you do it, but it works. It really does work. And yeah, so as stated, you always can use the SB900 and do some flash compensation and so on. I actually did minus 2/3 of a stop, because when you're this close with the flash as well, you don't really need that much flash gun power. So even if this is a TTL system, TTL flash, it becomes a little bit too strong at some times, so that's why I turned it down to minus 0.7 or 2/3 of a stop minus in the flash compensation, and it really worked for me. So yeah, that's a little bit of the caveat there. So either stated like so, holding it and doing all the types of flash you want as such. Second, this is just my techniques, holding it like so beside it, also more lens support with your non-shooting hand like so, and thirdly like so. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave you now a little bit with the images and some B-roll of the images that I managed to take with this setup. So yeah, I hope you will enjoy it, and unfortunately, if you have seen some of my earlier videos thus far with macro, you will unfortunately see a little bit more of the same, but it all is a learning cycle to try to learn more about macro photography and trying to solve the problems that emerges. So it's a little bit of an interesting, you know, evolution of how you do it. If you're hearing the traffic in the background, it is a hot, sunny day here in Uppsala today, and the studio lighting doesn't really do me any favors, so I just have the balcony door open to get a little bit of a breeze in. So yeah, that's that. But anyway, this is Tobias Bergström from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I'd like to see you guys in the next video. And as always, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care from now on. Bye.
Station descended.
Jetzt geht der Schnaps, aber ganz schnell. So.